Hey team, Glenn and Mili here. Welcome back to the Building Better Humans Project podcast. It is Mayhem Monday, which means
we have mayhem. Hello.
In the building.
Hello, hello.
So we're going to start with our lessons learnt, and I'm going to start, but my lessons learned are going to tie into the whole podcast episode, which is the final time that we're going to address all of the nasty comments. Now, we've had good friends of ours and even people that barely know us reach out and say, why would you keep giving them oxygen? We are not scared of this stuff. But what we've learnt around that is that it's a certain few people, and I feel like we know who they are. So we'll come back to those. But as a result of these nasty ones, and this will be the last time, my lessons learnt were that some people, and I wrote this down, some people prefer to live a life in hate of others rather than focusing on themselves and their lives. But their true hate, in my opinion, is for themselves. So for those people who take time to send out nasty stuff, I believe you've got stuff going on in your life that you really should focus on. Because at no stage do we find us, like we'll read stuff on social, like we'll lay in bed at night like anyone, and we'll go through social and we'll laugh at things and we'll share stuff with each other. If you see something that kind of you have an opinion on, we'll talk to it each other. But at no stage do we get on there and start bombing someone who we either don't know or even if we do know them and have an opinion on there. It's, to me, that shows a massive lack in something going on in your world.
You know, it's like that saying that went around, happy people aren't hating and hating people aren't happy.
Yeah. I've not heard that, but I like that. No.
It's a good one. It's a goodie. And it's true, because if you're truly happy within yourself, you're not going around hating on other people. That's just not what you're doing.
And there's a similar one, which is hurt people. Everyone's heard of that one. But you don't have to hurt people.
No.
Like, it's a false economy where if there's people up here, I want to pull them down to me. That's a false economy to feel like I'm growing. You haven't grown. You've brought them down to you.
You've tried
Growth
anyway.
is you doing this.
Yeah.
And that's you coming up, and that's what they're not doing. So for me, I've just learnt that there are some people, and when we go through some of these nasty comments, and for you guys listening, please understand we do not take these personally because these people don't define us. I saw a quote which I really liked. It says, I'm not the man you see, I'm the man that I see. So you're not going to change my opinion of me by being nasty to me. Whereas a good friend or your partner that comes along and says, hey, you sound like a dick when you did that, or you're a bit nasty when you did this, or, apologise to the kids, which we've had that conversation. If you've done something, you take that on board because it's someone that you trust and their intention is good. But someone who's just spitting venom, they're not going to change you.
No.
If anything, you'll double down.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's my lessons learned.
My lesson learned is, I guess, I'm really hard on myself on my patience and my temper, I guess, but I'm actually more patient than I think. I'm actually less angry than I used to be. And I've learned that through how I respond to these nasty comments, and how I am with the children lately, and, doing residential youth care. I'm actually super patient with those kids, and they're really tough kids. And we've done youth work for quite some time, but I'm, a few years into doing resi care.
Yeah, and you're doing a lot of different kids at the moment, as in you're doing some fill-in shifts, which means you're taking on kids you might not have met before.
Yeah.
So you've seen a lot of kids in a short period of time where you've filled in shifts for other people.
Yeah, because I've taken on a lot more work now that my training has backed down a little bit, or we're not in fight camp. So I've taken more shifts on just to save a little bit more money, and and I'm a lot more patient than I used to be, and I think that I am. So that's my lesson learned.
You're definitely not as angry as you used to be.
Yeah.
And I don't say like you walk around angry, because that'll come up too.
I definitely don't walk around angry. I think maybe that's been a little bit of a misconception. I'm a pretty happy person. Actually a very happy person.
I'm not convinced it's a misconception. I think it's the person, because I know who you are. I'm very much convinced I know who you are, that's having that to say. And because I don't...
Just because we've had a, comment about, your anger and stuff like that. And then I've been actually, because we do take feedback quite well. And so I've been reflecting, like, am I? And I'm really not. So that's my lesson learned.
Well, we laugh a lot. We muck around a lot. It's very rare for us to take life that seriously.
Yeah. I look back on when I was going through, like, probably one of my toughest times when I moved from Perth to Brisbane, and I was going through court for the children, and I was super stressed. And then I learned through therapy that, you know, when there's so many stressful things happening in your life, your window of tolerance gets smaller for smaller things. So you might snap at things that are you wouldn't normally because your window of tolerance is less. And then when we're doing more training with the children, it's the same. So they have so many stressful things that they're going through, and it sucks because they're so young, but their window of tolerance is also getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So they might blow up about things that are like the tiniest, and they do, you know.
And it's not about that thing.
It's not. It's mostly miscued. So,
well, I can say fairly confidently that that's happens to you and I. Like if we have a little blow up, it's when you look back, you go, well, it wasn't really that thing.
Yeah.
It might be a series of things.
Yeah.
And then it's just about how we both perceive and address that.
Yeah.
So.
And then I put out an NGL just before we continue on what the podcast is about today. I put out an NGL on what other people have learned. And there's some really good ones that came in, so I'll read them out. This one I love. I learned from you truly how to stay true to who you are when people are hating or being nasty. Honestly, the way you so effortlessly don't care is so satisfying to watch. Love you. Thank you. This one I also love, and I did share this on my socials, but for people who don't follow me and only listen or watch the podcast, I'll read it again. The power of silence, just being silent if someone is negative, being silent if someone is pouring their heart out, silence in your own thoughts. Silence is powerful. Love it. Like
and
it
because
is.
we're public, we don't do silence. We address these things, but this will be the last time.
Yeah, but also they covered a few things about being silent. So silence in your own thoughts. When you're sitting down, you're quiet, you're thinking about your life, anything that you need to be thinking about, just silence. And then also silence when someone's pouring their heart out, because a lot of the time when someone's telling you like their deepest, darkest or whatever it is, you feel the need to either fix their problem or you feel the need to also tell your dramas, you know what I mean?
Or I should have an answer even.
Yeah,
and
but
you
sometimes
don't.
just being silent when someone's just pouring their absolute heart out to you is really powerful as well.
Actually, before you move on, that's something I love about Kokoda or adventure in general, because I've literally just come back from Kokoda
That actually ties me to my next one.
3 days ago, and I'm about to go to Kilimanjaro. So,
yeah. So
well, you do the next one then before.
This one was, I learned that Glenn has done 98 Kokoda crossings. No homo. No homo, but that is amazing, and I have a man crush. He's taken, so you stop it.
I had a young bloke on this last program who was like 21, and he's from a footy playing background, and he was very quiet because he was the youngest on the group, so most of the group are 45 to 63, so older group. And then after a couple of days, he finally said, I want to know how you got calves like that. But his dad said, well, he's done
Everyone
98
comments
Kokodas.
On your calves. They are beautiful.
He goes, they're big. He goes, they're big
legs.
even for a footy player. And I said, well, I'm not a footy player, but okay.
That it doesn't, this one it hurt me a little bit. I mean, not hurt, but it made me feel sad. And I really hope that you're okay, and reach out like in DMs proper if you need to talk, but that it doesn't matter how old you are, life will challenge you, and then it really effing challenges and will always challenge you right up till you leave this earth. 100%, but it's how you deal with those challenges.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to let things get you down, and I know that's easier said than done. And we've had a couple comments where people think that I have, especially tied to the last feelings one, where I said people can't make you feel a certain way. And I think a lot of people mistook that as me being so hard on the edge and not like dealing with my feelings. It's not that. I actually do deal with my feelings. I cry a lot. I'm going to cry now. It's just that I don't let that affect my life.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. You know.
Yeah, and that's something that people do not understand about you, because I do feel like that got a bit lost.
Yeah.
Because I've
Maybe
literally...
we didn't explain it very well.
Yeah, but I've literally... Because you speak very confidently and competently, and you're not someone that cries publicly, I guess.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, on here we do a bit, but you've come home and talked to me about some things that kids have gone through that you've dealt with, and I've certainly dealt with the same sort of kids. And it's hard not to cry when because you think this is an 11-year-old or 12-year-old that shouldn't have gone through that thing. And then when we go through the nasty comments, there are people that are having a go at us, particularly at Mili, who they're not at the cold front. they're not doing these. Like one of them, which I'll read later, was how can you be a positive influence on youth with your anger and like. So I'll address that later, but that shows a total lack of understanding of what you go through. Yeah, and so Mili will do sort of 3 to 5 shifts a week. Some of those are 8-hour shifts, some are 16. And so you're dealing with a lot of kids. And the people writing these sort of messages have, I believe, zero concept or capacity to do what we do.
Yeah.
So it's easy to judge from the outside, but you don't know.
No. This one, I learned how strong I am. I look back on my life and the challenges I've gone through, and at the time it felt like I was drowning, but I just soldiered on, and now I'm in such a great spot. I often wonder how I did it, and I've just learned that it's because I'm stronger than I think. Love heart.
That's a good one.
Love it. And I heard this one. Lady Gaga's coming and her tour is called the Mayhem Ball. Tell me you're going. I am going. I'm going with my good friend Franco. So let's go. I can't wait for that.
Have you got tickets already?
Yeah. Yeah. Franco and I bought tickets when they first came out.
Actually, that's a good one. Like Franco's a good friend of ours. He's someone I've known for a lot of years and who's lost a lot of weight and really turned his life around. And I think, to be fair, and I'm sure Franco will listen, and this is a positive, mate, you still struggle with who you are sometimes and all of that sort of stuff and perceptions of self, and which I think we all go through. But this is about how I think healthy our relationship is. I'm not really a going out to concerts guy. And so Franco loves going out to concerts and you love going out to concerts. Thing. So now you both go to a lot of concerts together. A lot of men don't have that capacity to handle that for whatever reason. He invited
me to Jelly Roll, which is the week after Mariah. And I was like, I just don't know if I have it in me. And everyone's like, party girl. But I'm like, I can't go out 2 weekends in a row. So I might have to miss Jelly Roll, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I like that you've got people that you can go to things like festivals. You have people you go with because they're just not my thing. And I know that if anything, I'm going to kill your vibe. It's not going to be as much fun.
You can't kill my vibe, babe. No one can kill my vibe.
I can, because that's how I make her feel.
Oh, please. And then this one, I reckon I know who this is. And it says, I've learned that I'm the baddest photographer, videographer to walk this planet. I reckon that's Game Dog.
Game Dog.
What's up, Game Dog?
PNG Brotherhood.
And then this
if not, you are the baddest mofo anyway.
And then this one, which will tie on to today's episode, I learned that you're full of yourself. And I already, I know. And
you didn't tell me that one.
Well, I already put this one on my stories and they put the wrong "you're" in. So all I did was just correct them on that one.
This must have been while I was on Kokoda because I don't get to see all of them when I'm on Kokoda.
But just to, I learned that you're full. I agree. I am. Like, I love myself. If you can't love yourself, who's going to love you? Yeah. So,
and you definitely can't love other people.
100%. So it's taken a while, and I used to definitely have a lot of self-hatred, and I'm proud of where I am now with self-love. And proud of what I do, proud of how I serve the community, proud of the parent that I've become and am becoming because I'm getting better.
What did it say again?
I learned that you're full of yourself.
And that's it. That was the whole comment. Wow. You know, like you've got something going on.
Man, like,
But we've had nastier ones, but that's just so simple.
/high-key agree. Yeah. So thank you for noticing.
Well, the funny thing is that we constantly tell people, particularly girls and young girls and then women, to believe in yourself and have self-confidence.
Have self-love. And then as soon as you show any bit of confidence, it's like, bring you back down because you're being too much. Whatever. Don't care what you say.
I've heard so many people, you know, obviously being Australian and living here my whole life, talk about tall poppy syndrome and how it shouldn't be a thing in Australia. That's tall poppy syndrome.
100. I learned that you're full of yourself. What? Because I just do what I say I'm going to do.
That says to me that you lack confidence.
Yeah.
And you need to sort that out. So make it about yourself. Like, ask yourself, why do I want to spit this venom at people?
Yeah.
So, is there any others? That's all our lessons learned?
That's the lessons learned. Which most are good.
We get such interesting ones. There were some
others, but they were just not,
I'll add this onto that person. In the last week and every week, you've got an opportunity to learn something. Some people go, and the reason we're doing lessons learned is because you can go through a whole week and not learn things. We've all done it. And then 1 week becomes 4 weeks, becomes 3 months or whatever. So you've wasted a whole week. You haven't actually learned a thing. You've just had an opinion on someone else. And if that's what you've learnt for the week, your life is sad. It is what it is. I'm just going to call that out.
Yeah. Whatever.
And it changes nothing for us.
No.
Because again, as I said at the start, I'm not the man that you see, I'm the man I see, and vice versa. So we're going to get on to some of the more nasty ones. Now, I went through a phase where I thought we don't give these oxygen, and then I thought, well, one last time I will. But I've been looking at these over the period of months now that they've been coming in, and the negative ones are in 30% or less, to be fair. But I've been looking at them, and I'm very much convinced there's a couple of different people. It's not just one person, but mostly it's one person, and I know who this person is. I 100% know who this person is. And my advice to you is, one, seek help, honestly, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. You've got something going on that you need to sort out because you've been focused on this and obsessed about this for months, and you should stop listening, you should stop watching, and you should go and do something positive for yourself and with yourself, just to say that.
Yeah.
And I know who you are and you know who you are. And then there's another that I've kind of got an idea who they might be, but that's okay. It's neither here nor there. But I initially, when these came in, I didn't even read them all to you straight away at the time because I was upset by them because I just thought it's not that I believed in what they were writing, but it's just nasty. And there was no need for it because what we do on this show, and we get overwhelming support and reviews about this, is provide a positive space in the world for people to listen to. People love our honesty and our rawness, and we don't script any of this stuff. I write a couple of notes every now and then to keep me a little bit on track because I love to yak. But mostly it's a positive space. Why are you trying to throw negativity into that positive space? It's not about you. It's about all the people that get good things out of this show.
Yeah.
So should we read them?
Sure.
And some of you will find these really offensive.
Yeah,
Trust
because
me, I did.
we've had friends say, like, how do you guys read those? Because there's, like, I would be, we don't, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe these things about me, and so I can't be offended by something that's not true.
And more importantly, I don't believe these things about you and you don't believe them about me.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to convince us to look at the other person and go, oh, okay, bad person. Because I know things about Mili you don't even know, and she knows things about me that you don't even know. So you've not even got all the full information.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Actually, that was one of the comments, which is not a negative one. Someone wrote, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. But we might get to that, another one. I don't know if we should address all these as we go or we'll just, maybe. Let's just see. This first one is her ego as big as it seems? With every guy on IG, so Instagram for anyone older, sliding into her DMs, how can you trust her? She loves attention. There's so much in that. One, I think ego is a really healthy thing. There used to be a song, which you won't know because it's an Australian band from the 70s called Skyhooks. And the song was Ego is Not a Dirty Word. And when I was doing some psychology studies, they trapped us in a class once about ego, and people going, oh yeah, ego's bad, bad, bad. And they said, ego is what makes you get up and dress yourself and brush your teeth and present to the world as a functioning human. That's a healthy ego because we care that we present ourselves in the most professional way. Not what other people think of us, but the fact that because when people have proper mental health issues, they lose all of that. They will, they can be messy, and so on. And so ego is not a negative thing. But the other parts of that is this insecurity, saying with every guy on IG, on Instagram, sliding into her messages, how can I trust her? It doesn't matter if 1,000 guys slide into your DMs. What's that got to do with you?
Yeah.
You're not them. You're not the ones doing this. If it was she sliding into 1,000 guys' DMs, whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But they're saying that people are sliding into yours, so how can I trust you?
You should see my block list of the people who slide into my DMs.
Yeah.
At first, when the conversation, because sometimes guys will do this, right? So they'll follow you, they'll message you, and then they'll do things like, oh, when's your next fight? Or where can we get tickets to your next fight?
We had this recently.
And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to respond because I'd like to sell tickets to my fight. That's what the business is in professional fighting. You got to sell business for tickets. So I'll reply, this is where you can blah, blah, blah. And then because it comes out of my request folder and I've replied, then you can receive back and forth. And then it'll start going blah, blah, blah. And then I got one, nice boobs. And I'm like, block.
Yeah.
Immediately.
There's this one,
it annoys me. It's just like, there's no need. You don't have to do that. I'm with somebody. It actually pisses me off.
But you also tell me everything anyway. So, because I remember when that one came through, you said, oh, this guy, I don't know him, but this guy's messaged heaps of times, always asked about boxing, so I've responded. And then immediately that Mili responded, he wrote back and said something about your boobs. And I looked at his profile picture as much as we could see. He's probably in his 40s. Like, grow up.
I know. Not 15.
Do you wonder if ever ever, and looking at him, I'm going to suggest the answer's no, but you wonder if ever a woman's gone, okay, well, here's a picture of him.
Yeah.
No. It's like...
Do you want to see them in real life? What?
IRL. Anyway, so that was a crappy one.
Yeah. But also, what was the other bit? She loves attention.
Yeah.
I have spoken on this podcast about how if I'm stared at for too long, I will literally turn around and be like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
It annoys me if somebody thinks that they can stare too
And that's
long.
male or female.
Yeah.
Because a lady did that once, looked you
I
up and down.
register it as beef. I'm like, what are you looking at? What do you want to what?
Just for the record, for everyone out there, you don't want beef with it.
So that's obviously somebody who just has made their own mind up about me. And again, I don't get offended by things that aren't true.
This one was, how did you and Mili fall for each other so quickly? Which that question I have no problem with. And then it says, it's cool if it's real, but it just seems very fast, to be honest. So I feel like that's a bit of a backhand.
If
like
it's real.
It's not real. But so how did we fall for each other so quickly? I honestly don't know. I don't know. Like
We've answered how our relationship has progressed.
Yeah.
So go back a few episodes if you really care, or if you're just trying to have a dig. But if you don't, go back a few episodes. We've answered that.
Yeah, and you see what you want to see. But how do you fall for someone so quickly? You don't know that. Like people talk about this love at first sight and all that sort of stuff. I knew there was an energy immediately about, but I didn't think relationship. It's not like I went, okay, this is the woman I'm going to marry. It wasn't that because, but it was just like, oh wow, what a cool energy.
Yeah.
And then things progressed from there. So yeah, I don't think that was a positive. This one definitely wasn't a positive. Do you honestly believe she loves you? Well, yes, I actually do. Or just using you. And we laughed about this because she's like Mili goes, I love you, but using you for what?
Obviously, I love him because of his legs. Like,
right? Look at these little fellas.
and the other thing is like, I think people look at age gaps and they're like, oh, immediately it must be about something else other than love.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, when I said that.
So if I was a billionaire, you know, like if I'm a 60-year-old billionaire, you see them with a 20-year-old model, I get that people go, well, there's something in that. And even then you don't know, but I get that that's an opinion. I'm not a billionaire.
No.
What's
and
going
also
on?
you moved into my house, so maybe you're using me.
Oh, he's up.
Love ya.
She's got a very big, comfortable bed. But that's not all of that question. It was, do you honestly believe she loves you or just using you? Be honest with yourself. And then in brackets, I think you know the truth.
Well, I know who that one is.
Yeah.
You and me both know who that
Yes.
one is. And it's giving jelly.
This one's not a negative.
Peanut butter and jealous.
This one's not a negative, but it's just a worst experience recently. It's all these crappy messages. Honestly, we don't have many bad experiences. So this one was about a neighbourhood dispute. Those neighbours didn't handle it the right way, but come on, leaving your van out the front of someone's house is insane. It's not out the front of the house. I can't.
Yeah, I know.
It's up the street. It's literally not.
It's in front of nobody's house. It's in front of a power box.
And not understanding why someone would be happy about that, I think they mean unhappy, is extremely obnoxious. If people keep calling you arrogant, Glenn, maybe there's some merit to it. And this is 100% the same person because they used to always put my name in sentences. So particularly when they're annoyed. So it's you again. And the problem with this is when it's you again, you lose so much validity.
Yeah.
Because there's no thought to this. You're just rewording things. But I do get that I'm told I'm arrogant because I have a certain demeanour. And I think it's my size and it's whatever, my head, my face sometimes. But I'm not arrogant. I just do not get pushed around by people. When that argument happened, which we very well explained in that episode, I never left my side of the street, even though he kept coming over. Now, the younger version of me would have met him halfway and there would have been a problem. I'm much more, like, I think I handled that really calmly.
Yeah, I have a video of kind of the end of that where you were super calm and you were just saying what you wanted to say, but you weren't being pushed around.
I didn't elevate. I didn't.
But he was calling you a effing C, a dumb C. He was calling you a piece of shit. He was calling you all of these kind of things. And it's just like...
If I was an
you're
insecure
so
man, I would have met him for saying those things. So most men...
Yeah, a little bit of me was like... Oh,
yeah, but I'm secure enough to go... I'm not the one that's carrying on, mate. I'm not nervous about this situation. He was nervous. He was elevating. I'm all good.
Yeah.
So there was no arrogance in that, but I'm not going to back down from you. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to lose a fight or an argument than to be bullied by someone.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get, I'm just
He's
not.
going, just park in front of your house or we won't have a problem. It's not in front of your house either.
So we don't have a
Mates.
problem. a couple of actually good ones here. Oh, this one I don't really get, and I read this one too. It said, "You have served our country. What the F has Mili served for our country?" And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, but it was in the same series, and it's like, and it said, "Nice neighbours, bring it on." I don't really understand the last part of that, if they're having a dig or if they've taken the neighbour's side, but we've already said this.
Just because you put...
Mili serves the country, absolutely, by serving our youth. You've contributed more to our country. I hate it when Australians complain, and we're going through all this at the moment with all the stuff about immigration, and should there be a limit? Yeah, while they're taxing the arse off us, maybe. And I don't want to go too into that politically, but what I do want to say is I watch Australians complain about people coming in from other countries who, to be honest, end up providing more value than you're providing just because you're born here. I've seen people say, oh, they're going to come here and take all our jobs. I have no fear of someone taking my job. If someone can come in, not speak English, and take your job, that says more about you than... But this idea that you're not doing anything because you're from what? You're from another country, or I don't know if that's the reference, or because I've been to war zones.
I think that's what they mean, because you referenced how we're serving our country in the video about the neighbourhood dispute. So I think that's where they're coming from at the end of that.
Well, I did serve as a soldier, but Mili serves in the sense, or you serve in the sense of our youth. The most important commodity that this country has is they're literally our future.
Coming up,
Yes, and it's a big problem. We've been working with young people for quite some time now. So. Yeah, I got a really nice reference for us from Will Smith, who's a friend of ours, JCP Youth, if you want to look it up, runs probably the best youth reform program in the country out of Tasmania. And he sent a reference through for us to do work that we're doing here, just because it's good to have references. And it was glowing. And of the 6 years that we've worked together and so on, I'll take that opinion over this anonymous opinion. But anyway, what do you do? This one was...
I'd like to know how they've served the country.
Yeah, 100%.
Whoever that is.
This one was obviously around the feelings thing, but also still having a dig. It says, 100% agree with Glenn. Mili's opinion comes from inexperience feeling love because none of it was real. She's an attention seeker. This is exactly the same person. She feeds off it. How can you not see it? Give us back the old building better humans. Her behaviour, her anger towards others. You used to hang around good people. What happened? That's flawed, isn't it?
Crazy.
And they've actually run out of words. Because with the NGL link, I'm sorry to laugh at you, but seriously.
I'm not.
Yeah, okay, neither am I. But in the NGL link, there's only a certain amount of words, and they've kind of run out of words. You can tell.
They should have done part 2.
Yeah.
Continue.
They send a lot. They send a lot of messages through. But yeah, like again, just venomous and nasty. And when it's a give us the old building better humans, there are a million podcasts, maybe 4 million. I don't know. There's millions of podcasts. You can find other podcasts. If you don't like the content that I'm putting out, which I do not charge people for and never have. And we've had so many. I was talking to my sister, Tanya, shout out to Tanya, and we don't catch up often. And Tanya's my older sister. And I had no idea that she even listens to the podcast or watches it. And she said to me, first she said that my dad loves Mili, and even though he's never met her, just from following online. And then she said, like, her energy, she said, I hate to say it to you, but her energy so outweighs yours or something. I can't remember the terminology she used.
Thanks, girl.
I'm like, hold on a minute. This is my show. But yeah, so you get people who get positives. I've talked to so many people that say how much they've loved or they don't miss the show now that we're doing the Mondays. They never miss a Monday.
Yeah, there's heaps of people who've come through who've messaged and said, I listen more now that we have Mayhem Monday. And
so if
we
you
just
want
talk about whatever.
If you want the old Building Better Humans, there's 1,200 episodes. Go and listen to them, re-listen to them. It'll take you years. Because I've been putting them out for 8 years. But for those people that are embracing the new, and I've lost a lot of followers, as in hundreds and hundreds, on my Instagram in the last few months, and I'm very happy with that, because what will happen is it'll get rid of all the people that don't want to follow, and you shouldn't if you don't want it. And then actually this week it went up by like 8, so that's 8 people that like what we're doing now. Not 8 people stuck in the past. Give me back the old, whatever the story is. Go and listen to something else. There's the Mindset Motivation podcast. There's the You Project by Craig Harper. These are literally people who do what I do in the old Building Better Humans. Go and listen to them. They're good. They're really good. I listen to them. So.
But if they have been following Building Better Humans for quite some time, they've obviously not taken anything on board.
Yeah, you missed the point.
Anything on board, because everything that you're about is like holding true to yourself, accountability, putting out positive energy towards the world. And this is not it.
This is the same person again, for sure. Take off your rose-coloured glasses, Glenn. Your love is blind.
Oh my God, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I feel like you're just saying words.
Now we're just saying words. Like if having rose-coloured glasses is seeing the absolute best in the person that you're in love with and you've chosen to spend your life with, how is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Every one of you out there that is in a relationship or married, or I encourage you to have rose-coloured glasses. Look for the best in your partner, because have they got shitty sides to them? Yeah, we're humans. We all have. Why would you be focused on that?
In fact, they actually say that that's a really good tool to do, like to have in your relationship, is to actively list. And it's like how you message me and you send me a message every single morning. And it forces you, I guess, to look at the positives about our relationship.
Yeah.
And I have a massive, massive list.
We should do this one day.
The things that I love about you. And I guess you could call that my rose-coloured glasses list, because I love you so much and there are so many good things about you.
Thank you, baby. I write a message, as we've said before, to Mili every single day. So currently, as we record this, it's at 246, day 246. And I've not missed days. There are days where we've not sent them, as we've said before, but we've always written them. And then Mili keeps a list. And we should read some of them to you one day, just out of interest, because I encourage all people to do that.
Yeah.
Because, well, we'd have to vet the list. There's some things we couldn't read to you, because some things are personal, obviously.
Because Mum watches this.
And as Mum was, I've heard it all before. You didn't invent sex. Okay, thank you.
What do you kids think you invented it? Oh my God, stop it, Mum.
But I was, again, when I was out on Kokoda, one of the young blokes was constantly trying to get service to contact his partner. And, you know, they're another guy in the early 20s and they've been together for a few years, which is a long time. And he was having a conversation on top of one of the hills where she couldn't understand that he wasn't able to get service all the time. And he's saying, what do you want me to do about it? Like, there's literally not that much service out here, because people don't comprehend that. And I told him about how I write to you every day. And I said, make a commitment like that. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be something. But no matter what happens the night before, or if you've gone to bed angry, or because people say don't go to bed angry, but sometimes you just do. That's life. But you don't have to start the day angry. That's one thing you're in control of. So then try and start your day with your positives. And so I'm actually encouraging other people to do that stuff. So either what Mili's done, which is just adds to that list every other day of things that she likes about me. And you read it to me once, and it was very long.
And that wasn't even the half of it. That wasn't even a quarter.
Yeah, but it's easy to sometimes feel invalidated or ignored, we've talked about this recently, or not loved in little moments, when the truth is there's a lot going on in our worlds, and the fact that you take the time to do that. And even the messages I write, sometimes I get a little bit lost because I feel like after 246 days I'm writing the same things, and it does get hard, but you still put the effort in to trying to do the best you can. So for this person, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what your story is. I really, really am shocked by the fact that you're continuing this stuff. But anyway, it is what it is. What else was there? There's a couple more. And I hate reading these because they all feel like they're having a go at you, because I guess they're coming to my NGL. So anyway, this one said, a little girl needs attention, feeds off validation and rewards.
That sounds like the same person with the other one.
A little girl needs attention, feeds off validation and rewords it as love. This was actually a bad one. We were going to talk about this one. And it's finished with, sounds like a daughter dating her father effing his daughter, age my ass. I wanted to address this one, and Mili really wanted to address this one because it's pretty gross.
It's disgusting.
And it's gross. Well, you explain why it was gross for you.
It's gross for me because, like, we have dealt with children over the years that we've been working with young people, but particularly in resi care, who actually go through this. They
sexual abuse.
Actual
sexual
abuse from, their people who they're meant to trust. So their
uncles,
parents, and they actually go through this. So for this person to just like make such baseless claims like that is like, you don't know anything about the real world, and you're just making these disgusting claims.
Yeah.
Like,
it was one
I'm
that
32. I'm not a child. Like, what are you talking about?
It's one of the first ones that I saw made you, I was going to say angry, but probably almost ill. It was like, you were like, that is so disgusting.
Yeah.
And for you that wrote this, and again, I know who you are, I'm pretty sure that you should be concerned that that's where your brain is.
Yeah, man. You
in thinking about
to
this.
check yourself. You need to go and talk to somebody about that, because if that's where your brain goes immediately when you see two adults in a loving relationship, you're gross.
There are questions that you receive in personal development around, and we've talked a little bit about this. What would you go back and do? Who would you go back and meet sooner? So I might say, I wished I'd met Mili sooner. And I do say that sometimes, but the truth is I don't. And the reason I don't is because of the age gap. Because if I'd met Mili 10 years ago, it would have been too big a jump from an early 20s to a 40s. Whereas where we're at, it's as when I meet her at 29 or 30, that's a grown woman. And I'm a grown man, and we get to make those. Not that I'm justifying to anyone, I'm just saying. But do I want to
There's another one that I got talking about. How would you feel if you saw your dad with someone who was your age? My dad passed away when he was 54 years old, which was in 2008. So currently, I'm bad at maths, but he'd be what, 60, 70?
8 to 18. Yeah, it'd be close to, say 70.
So if he was with like what's the age gap? So if he was with a 50-year-old, cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Sweet. Even if he was with a 40-year-old, I'll probably be mates with her because she's a fully grown-ass woman, and so is he, and they're fully consenting adults. And
but then I think in that one, this person also said, what if he was going after one of your friends because Glenn's got a daughter that age or something? And the truth is that if he went out with someone your age, you said, not my business. If he went out with one of my friends, different.
Yeah.
Of course, because you grew up with them.
Yeah.
So you're talking about very different things.
Very different things.
You're looking for a reason to have a problem.
Yeah, and it's really weird. It's super weird. Like, what are you doing with you? I would love this person to message me.
Yeah.
Just grow a set and just message me and with who you are, and we'll have a chat about it. But, yeah.
I feel bad sharing these in the sense that I don't want you guys out there to think that we're affected by this, as I said at the start.
That's the only one that I was like, ugh.
Yeah, because it was...
And I'm like, because there are people who actually go through that.
And you deal
disgusting
with sexual abuse on a daily basis at the moment.
And it's just like, you guys need to know more about the world before you make claims like that. There are people who... This is offensive and insensitive to people who actually go through that, because that's not something that I've been blessed enough to never... Go through that other than, like
I had an
people
incident
touching you and stuff like that.
But I had an incident with an uncle when I was 13 that was bad enough, and it wasn't a full sexual abuse, but it was, definitely going down that path. So, I agree. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's...
Can I just clarify? When I say people touching you, I mean like when you're in the club,
nightclub,
people walk past and they and that sort of stuff. That's still sexual assault, but it's just a lesser. And but yeah.
But we're talking about abuse here, and that's what you're naming, and it's it's really sad. So, and we don't never want this podcast to be negative. But what I'm the reason we decided to do this one last time, and this will be the last time. So, to this person, you keep sending them, they're not going to get oxygen from today forward. And my advice is still to stop watching. Stop listening.
Yeah, what are you doing? Why you want to do that to yourself?
Now this one, it's really just referencing they're agreeing with me on the feelings thing, but they just finish it with a bit of a negative towards you. Have to agree with Glenn from a subconscious level that hits deep into your soul of who you are. Without feeling, that shows a cold soul, a selfish, cold-hearted person, in my opinion. Massive red flag.
Yeah, see,
don't date her.
They stay away from me. No, they mistook what I was saying in that whole. It's not that you don't feel; it's just that you don't give somebody else the power to make you feel that way.
Yeah,
you are responsible for your own feelings, whatever they may be.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say, and yeah.
This one was Mili. Our family follow Glenn, not you. Which I still feel like could be the same person for obvious reasons because their family was involved. What happened to van life and Christian and your girls, your family? Happy for you if it was real, another one of those, but it ain't. It's an illusion. Body language doesn't lie. You can do better. So there's so much I'm going to address in this. Body language, we get so many comments on how positive our body language is. People like the videos more than they like just the audio. And I was listening, not watching, but I was listening to one of our podcasts that came out last Monday while I was driving and you were at work, and I found myself laughing at the things we were laughing at, even though it was us. Like I found myself caught up in the emotion and the energy. So that's just a straight out, you're wrong on that one about the body language.
They're just saying words.
Yeah, as far as van life and Christian and my girls, nothing's changed. My kids are grown up. My Sammy is
What
a
happened
beautiful.
to van life? What happened to just deciding that you're going to change?
Yeah,
Do
you're
what
allowed
you
to
do?
change.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And we want a van life together.
Sorry that my life is not what you want it to be. Like, wow.
Actual. As far as Christian and the girls, like Christian spends a lot of time with us, and he loves Mili.
He loves me.
And
he calls me more than you.
he does, actual. And my youngest, Sammy, at 18, and I'm very proud of this, has just moved interstate. And I won't say exactly where she's moved, obviously for privacy reasons, but she's moved interstate. I spoke to her just last night. She hasn't asked me for a cent. And I feel like she wants to, but she hasn't, to her credit. And I said to her...
Doing really well, with that.
Yeah, and she's got a job, and it's taken a little bit longer to get shifts, and she's a little bit nervous about that. And I said, the good thing is that you're learning to live on your own 2 feet, and that's going to be really powerful for you. And she said, I can't remember the exact conversation, but the point is I'm really proud of her. So, I don't talk about them a lot because they're not right here with me all the time. They're grown up, they're adults.
Lives. Like something else that I really, really loved is she messaged me when you were away and you couldn't be contacted.
Oh, nice. And
she said to me, I'm coming back from where she was and I am flying in really late and I don't want to drive home because her home was 3 hours away before she moved. And she was saying, can I stay at your place in your spare room? And I'm like, of course you can.
Yeah, and that's the relationship we have.
Yeah.
All of the kids, bar one.
So she did. She came, she slept, she woke up really early and she left. And my mum was there at the time and she was really tired. And mum loves to chat. If you know Linda, she loves a chat. So I just said, hey, mum. And then I just took Sammy to the room that she was sleeping in because I knew that if she stayed downstairs, mum would just yap.
Then all of the kids, really bar one, who's got her own stuff going on, are very good with you.
Yeah.
So no problem at all. So it's interesting when someone else mentioned in your one about he's got children your age. Well, not quite, but even though the one closest to your age, no problems. No problems at all.
Yeah.
So if our family doesn't have a problem, how do you have a problem?
Weird. Seriously.
Don't make it all about you.
I know. Go to the beach.
Do something.
Go in the sun. Get
If there happens to be a beach near you, go to that. This one, Mili, stop hardening Glenn's heart. At least he has one. Yours is performance. Love is blind. Jeez, you're running your same theme all the time. Mix up your words. Love is blind when there is deep admiration. Where would you be without him? Not much. So again, we're back to you were way someone before I met you.
Yeah.
You know? And just for the record, not that it's about this, but you have more followers on social, you get more engagement on stuff that you do. What are you talking about? So this is a massive jealousy of this person. And I'm telling you, everyone listening for a fact, this is a massive jealousy of this person on you.
Yeah.
That's really, this is the person who,
because they want,
and I will out you.
Because I have what they want.
Yeah, which is crazy because I don't want.
Giving stalker.
Yeah. And this person has created a lot of drama in my life and therefore our lives over a series of years. I was way too polite for a long time when I should have just put a stop to it because I felt bad for them. They were going through stuff and you don't want to be the person that adds to that. And every time I gave them just even a small inch, they took it too far. And it has escalated and escalated. I've luckily included lots of people and lots of evidence towards this because I knew I needed to protect myself.
There's even people who you haven't told who have later gone oh, who's that person that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they bring up something that you were whoa. So there's more people who know about your little thing than we've told or you've told.
People that even I was shocked knew. People that had done an Aussie
who's
10.
That person that's was really weird on you and kind of obsessed with you. And
I've had friends ring me concerned about it after being on a trip that this person was on as well. And if you don't like this conversation, then you need to stop.
If you if you're watching this and you know that that's you, because you know it's you. Stop it, mate. He doesn't want you.
And that was the other thing. If this was happening to a male, as in if a male, was doing this to a female, it would be...
police involved.
Oh, absolutely. So I mentioned to this person that I feel like this is stalking, and they said, that's a really serious accusation. How dare you? Yeah, it is. Because I've had people in our circle say, I'm really worried that this person will turn up to your house. I said, don't worry, Mili will handle that. She'll throw the old 1, 2, 3. Maybe a 7 and 8. throw a sneaky one in. But, you know, like we would not put up with someone coming to our house and putting
you will not
our
address
children
me
or
at my house in front of my children or address you or whatever.
Yeah,
Hell
so-
nah. This would be bigger than the neighborhood dispute.
Oh, 100%.
Like I'm throwing hands. I'm sorry, but I am.
Yeah, you know, so there's people that were generally worried about our safety, which is crazy. So, I just want to give some final advice for this episode, I guess, and if you want to tie off as well. But I just sort of wrote some notes around stuff about what I was thinking and wanting to handle this the best way I can. One is you're not going to change the way I feel about Mili. You're not going to change this relationship. The only thing that will ever change this relationship will be us. If something happens between us, the outside world is irrelevant. As we said in a recent episode, what you see is what you get. This is not a performance because it's the same person who suggested it was a performance. It's not a performance. This is who we are. We elect to sit in front of a camera and to do a podcast because I've been podcasting for 8 years. And it took me a little while to encourage you to come on. And it's been a massive positive.
Yeah.
We get so much good feedback, and we'll do good feedback on future ones. We get interesting questions. We get crazy questions. We learnt that crows and therefore magpies hold grudges. We've learned all sorts of stuff since we've been doing this.
It's been fun.
Look, some of it's just been fun. Some of it's been deep. Some of it's been really challenging questions for you to have a long, hard think about. Some of them been people pouring their heart out about how they've learnt something or changed something. I regularly get ones, and so do you, that's from women saying that you've taught us that you know, it's okay to be a strong woman, and in this society,
it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to be confident. It's okay to show that energy to the world without feeling like, oh, I better tone it down a little bit because these people might think that I'm blah blah blah. Yeah, so we've had a lot of positive things, and I'll say one thing that I've said for a very long time. Mostly, I've had to learn, but also to children in particular, and especially young girls, because they are worried about this person said this about me and I really don't like that they said that about you. And I go, well, is it true? And they go, no, they're just making it up. Okay, well, how can you be offended by something that's not true?
Yeah.
You know, if it is true, then maybe you could work on that. But if it's not true, then why would you be offended? Because you can't be offended by something that's not true. And that's all these things. It doesn't offend me because it's not true.
I just want to encourage this person to get help.
Yeah.
And if it's other people, if I've got this wrong, also get help.
Yeah. And they're going, you're full of yourself. It sounds like I'm full of you. You're full of me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're full of you. Yeah. Someone's full of someone. And we've got to be very careful where we go from there. I wrote down 4 quotes or things that I wanted to address to tie this one off that were just relevant to me. One which I've already said, which is, I'm not the man you see, I'm the man I see. And by that I mean, I don't have to be who you want me to be. I absolutely have an onus to be who Mili wants me to be, because we adjust and change. And we talked about this the other day where people go, I'm not going to change for anyone. Well, that's not a relationship. You've all got to adjust to be, you know, so, but otherwise I don't have to change to be who someone else needs to be. The other one which is tied into that is, and this was a quote from someone that said, it's better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. And so again, by that, I don't have to be, and Mili doesn't have to be who you want us to be, how you think we need to be. You don't have to listen to us. There's 8 billion people on the planet. I feel like 1 billion of them at podcasts. Yeah. So go and find your little circle. And if we're not for you, great. And if you are the person that said, give us back the old Building Better Humans, it's not happening, because everything in our life develops and grows. I love the Building Better Humans project, but when I listened to 8 years ago, I'm a bit embarrassed because it's pretty average compared to where it's at now. If you don't like this and you prefer that, go back to that. This one was a concept that said there's 1,440 minutes in a day. And if I steal one of them off you, do you just burn the rest of them? And what that concept was about is, just because someone has an opinion of you, takes something from you, hurts your feelings in some way, tries to offend you, tries to be rude, whatever, I'm not going to blow up my whole life for that. I'm not going to throw away the other 1,439 minutes because you stole one of them. I'm just going to move on, and you can have that minute. So for this person or these people, you get that little split piece of time or whatever feeling positive that you might get out of writing something negative. That's all you get. You don't get any more. I don't think about you again.
No.
Because I remember very, very early in the piece, this person said something to me about wanting to be in a relationship, and I said, not interested. And then and I said, and I don't want to talk about it again because that's for you to deal with. The very next morning, I got a message saying, I hope you weren't awake all night thinking about it. Nope, because as I said, never going to think about it again. And this is the same concept. You take that 1 minute off me, but I'm not going to burn the rest. I'm not going to think I'm a terrible person. I'm not going to think Millie's a terrible person. I'm not going to think that she's full of ego or attention or needs validation. Does she want all of that stuff from me? Absolutely. Do you deserve that stuff from me? Absolutely. And that's something I've had to learn to do more of. But no one else, I don't care. Honestly, you can dress how you want, you can do what you want, and people go, oh, she's doing that for validation. I know that the only validation that you ever ask for is from me. Mm-hmm. And you have every right to ask that of a partner. And for everyone out there, you should be giving validation to your partner, but no one else.
I dress how I feel. So I like reject the opinion that the way that you dress is because you want attention. Like, you should see how I go on IGA sometimes. It's crazy. Like, you'd be like, Jesus, where did you crawl out of?
You did not. You are not.
Yes, I do, babe. Ripped up, stained up shirts, like jammies.
Yeah, jammies.
No,
but your jammies are pretty hot.
Yeah, not all of them. I've been in there with no shoes sometimes. Like,
true PNG girl.
Yeah, whatever.
My last one, and this is a message I probably want to tie off the podcast with. It's a quote I saw that I absolutely love, and it's not just aimed at this person or these people sending negatives. It's for all of you. It says, some of you don't clap for others, and that's why it will never be your turn. And I love that.
Me too.
Some of you don't clap for others, and that's what will never be your turn. When people are succeeding, when people are happy, when people are doing good things that they enjoy in their life, just clap for them and say, good on you.
Yep.
Because one day it will be your turn and it will be returned. Mm-hmm. But if you're constantly looking to pull people down because it makes you feel some way about what you're not doing in your life, and if you're going to be that person, it will never be your turn.
Yes, love it.
And that'll do us.